guys, how you doing? Welcome back with me, Kiki, and no Geo today because right now I am accompanied by my best colleague in English today, which is Dan. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kiki. You name me as the best. I'm very happy you said that.
Yes, because you are my mentor. I consider you as my mentor.
I hope none of the other teachers are listening to this.
Oh, well, they are all the best. But for me, there is one priority. So that's you.
They are all the best, but there is one that is better. Is that what you're trying to say?
Uniquely the best. That's you.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, there you are. So this is your second time on our show, right, Dan?
It is. It is. I think I did one of the first ones probably about 6 months ago now, maybe longer.
Longer. I think longer than that.
Could have been, one whole year. So I do this once a year, I guess.
Remember when Gio said that you should have your own podcast? It's called Dan Talks. I love it. Because, you are one of the most talkative teacher in English today.
I am. Well, once I get going, it's difficult to stop.
Exactly. So I think we are the best duet, for this.
I'm not going to sing.
This episode will take a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah, I have got some meetings after this, so let's keep it nice and concise and get to the point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, then. Anyway, so let's just tell us a little bit about you again. You've done that before, but maybe our SETlers forgot about that. So can you tell me a little bit about, yourself and things that you like to do, Dan? Go ahead.
So about 7.5 years ago, I moved to Surabaya for the first time after living in London for 25 years. Okay. And that was a career decision based on, I wasn't particularly happy living in London, which may surprise some people. And it's a long story. I don't want to go into it. So I thought, okay, the best way to get out and see the world like I wanted to do, plus work, was to go to Indonesia. And I found a really fantastic job in Surabaya. Moved there, stayed there for 2 years, had an awesome time, learned a lot about myself and teaching too.
Okay.
And then I moved to Jakarta 2 years after. Okay. And moved to Jakarta. And I didn't instantly go into English teaching. I took a little bit of a break. And some of you who know me may know I did some full-time modeling for 9 months. Actually.
I can see that in your Instagram. Well, we'll be showing that later, but go ahead.
Okay, if any of you nosy people want to have a look. But I don't really have the time to do it much anymore, but also I'm getting older, so maybe I'm not in fashion right now. I'm a little bit getting a bit more rugged and getting the big bags under my eyes.
Oh, well, aren't we all?
Yes, it's the sign of...
Also the belly, yeah?
Well, you can't see it. If you're watching, you can't see my belly, and I'm not going to.
Thank God, for this Zoom meeting.
Yeah, so after 9 months, then I kind of got fed up of the modeling thing because it wasn't really motivating me to stay in Indonesia even. Okay. So I found English Today, and I've been here ever since. So it's about 4.5 years now. Yeah. Okay. And I'm living in central Jakarta, but you asked me about my hobbies and stuff like that. So during the pandemic, my hobbies have kind of disappeared, unfortunately. So I've ended up playing a lot of online chess.
Oh, you love playing chess, huh?
I do. I'm slightly addicted to it, I would say.
Really? Well, you should teach me because I honestly don't know how to play chess.
I wouldn't say I'm the best either. I'm a very average player. So, but it's fun when you win and very frustrating when you lose.
Oh dear.
So you end up playing again just to see if
Yeah.
you're going to win, and then you lose again, and then the frustration comes out. But to
Okay.
release all that stress from work and losing at chess, I give myself as much opportunity as I can to travel.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, now that's actually interesting because our topic of the day of this episode is actually traveling in Southeast Asia after the pandemic. So, just out of curiosity, really, you mentioned that your first destination that you want to go to was Indonesia, right? Out of all countries in Southeast Asia, why do you choose Indonesia?
So Indonesia was one of those that I hadn't actually been to before I decided to leave. So in 2011, I traveled for 9 months around the world. I went to, and I mean around the world, so I went to quite a few countries, but I spent about 3 or 4 months in Southeast Asia. But Indonesia was not one of those places.
I see. Why is that? Like, why wasn't that your priority?
It's not particularly convenient to actually come to Indonesia to then hop to another place.
Oh, because of the strategic, the location?
Yeah, well, Indonesia is spread over so many islands, so then that's not very cost effective for someone on a budget.
I see.
That was very difficult at the time. So I stayed on the mainland of Southeast Asia.
I see. Okay. That's interesting. Now, before I forget, let's talk about the vocab of the week. So what's the vocab of the week, Dan?
The vocab that I have come up with today is broadening your horizon.
Oh, right. That's actually an idiom, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. So
what do you think it means?
Broadening your horizon, it means you actually opening up to different things that you've never tried before so that you can actually have more experiences.
Yes, that's almost there. Yeah, it's
okay.
Broadening. What does that word mean first?
Well, broaden, it's from the word broad. It's big, like making things bigger.
Wider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So widening your perspective.
Yeah.
And increasing the range of your knowledge and experience.
There you go.
Often
nice.
People relate it to doing new things, and one of the best things to do is to travel, to
moving around places, places. Right. Okay, interesting. So broadening your horizon. So how far have you gone to when it comes to broadening your horizon around Southeast Asia? Dan, can you share a little bit about your experience?
So actually, firstly, I've been to most of the countries in Southeast Asia now over time, but not all of them. So I still have a bit more to do in the future if I get the chance. But I've been to, I think originally in 2011, I only went to 5 of them. So I went to, started in Singapore, which is a good place for a hub for an airport. So a lot of flights go there, landed there. I went to see my family in Malaysia, because on my mother's side they're Malay. So I went to see them. And from there, I took a short flight to the south of Thailand, stayed in the islands down there, went around Thailand, moved around to Laos and Cambodia. And that was the initial trip. And that was wonderful. Not only that was for, firstly, independence, learning about new cultures. The food was amazing. The activities that you could do. And the beauty of the landscape, unbelievable. And then that was a really fantastic experience, because when you move from Singapore, it's totally different from maybe Laos or Cambodia. A lot of difference in wealth. But it's still, you can find things to do and enjoy, and the people are so lovely generally in Southeast Asia. And then later on, when I moved to Indonesia, I had the opportunity, because Southeast Asia is right there on my doorstep, basically. I took the opportunity to go to other countries, such as Vietnam and Myanmar I went to.
Ah, nice one. So, how did you actually travel? Did you go by yourself, or did you go with a group of people, of your friends?
Well, the first time I was traveling alone, so that was backpacking, living on a budget. And then when I went to Myanmar, that was towards the beginning of my time in Indonesia. So I didn't have as much money as I would now. I was still on a bit of a budget, but then I could spend a little bit more than I did when I was backpacking. And then Vietnam, I go with my girlfriend now.
That's nice. So you always have a company to go with everywhere, huh?
Yeah, it's a totally different way to travel when you've got someone to go with.
Yeah.
You have to consider totally different things, and but yeah, Vietnam is a great place to go with someone.
Yeah, I'm really interested to go there actually, and I heard that Vietnam is the only country in Southeast Asia who can still survive this pandemic. They have zero pandemic case there.
I would be suspicious to think.
Really?
True. Yes.
Just heard the news lately, and it's actually impressive how they actually managed to put their economy, make their economy higher than China. So basically they get to survive this pandemic, and that's a great thing actually. Yeah,
well, I am a skeptic, so generally that is not my it's not my place to say that they are wrong, but I find it difficult to truly believe that, considering places like Indonesia and Thailand struggled so much, and they're just next door. So
I see what you mean.
Hard to believe, but
well,
let's take it face value.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so you mentioned about traveling on a budget. That's actually really interesting. I'm sure that our settlers would like to know some tips and tricks from you about how to travel on a budget, because I don't do that. I never actually have the opportunity to travel to many places in a small budget. So tell us more about that.
So probably the best thing to do, you have to really do your research. Actually, it's really easy to do now, simply because there's so much information online.
Yeah.
In 2011, there was information online, but I wasn't really getting it through a hand phone, or not every place I traveled to actually had the internet back then. So, but now you've got such a range of things, and you shouldn't be just looking for the same type of place. You've got to be looking for, yes, you can stay in hotels, but they're generally more expensive.
Right.
One of the best things to do is to look for hostels.
Okay.
Have you ever stayed in one?
Maybe just one day or two.
So some people don't even really know what hostels are, because I think they've never stayed in there. So hostels are generally shared. You book shared rooms.
Okay.
So basically, you'll be staying in bunk beds with strangers.
No privacy whatsoever, basically, yes?
Yeah, very little anyway, yeah. So you can get anything from like 4 in a room to 20 in a room if you're going really cheap.
Okay.
Some are better than others. It also really depends on the people that stay there too. So you've got to be careful with that, because some people their hygiene is terrible, or they don't care about you. So that is the first one. You've got to look for things like hostels.
Okay, a good one, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, it's a great place to meet people.
New people, okay.
Yeah, because you have to eat together for breakfast, and you have to sleep in the same room. So you're forced to say hi to these people.
True.
And that's really, really great. And what you can do then is they will then give you tips of where to go to eat, what activities to do.
Yeah.
And that means you can save money because of that. Because usually advice is the best way. You won't know everything before you get to somewhere. You have to listen to the people who have either been there for a few days, or actually the locals that are working in the place that you're staying.
I see. Okay. Anything else?
Traveling on a budget, try not to get fit. I think that's one thing to do, is make sure you are happy to walk everywhere, or take bicycles, because I think that's
like rent a bicycle.
Yeah, rent a bicycle, or just walk everywhere. I think that saves a lot of money on transport.
I see. Okay, so you gotta be fit, really.
Yeah, but you can obviously
be fit by walking.
You can become fit by walking, and I'm kind of talking about when I traveled for a long time, but I know most people won't do that.
Yeah.
So I recommend to be happy to walk up and down places, because you'll be walking in beautiful places, but they could be mountains.
Nice one, yeah.
It could be really, really hot. We know Indonesians generally don't even walk around in Indonesia. So,
well, that's why.
Yeah, imagine doing that in a place where you want to see everything, but you can't.
That's true.
That would be some of my advice for.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Now, I want to show to our SETlers a little bit about your Instagram postings, because it's quite interesting to actually see your pictures of lots of beautiful views and places that you've been to, actually. So guys, have a look and do follow Mr. Dan. So I think you just recently posted pictures of you in Bali. Is that right? Were you there?
I was in Bali, yes.
Nice one. Okay, so let's just scroll down a little bit more here. So we have the model, Dan, there. And this is where's this again? This is very famous, this place.
Hadar Island.
Nice one. Okay.
So a lot of this that you can see is actually Indonesia.
I know.
A lot of it's Indonesia. Some of it is
also in Indonesia.
Yeah, that's in Sumatra with the elephants there.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Yeah. So
okay, let's just go scroll down to
just there.
Yep.
This whole section here is all Thailand.
Thailand, nice one.
Yeah, so I went with my girlfriend to Thailand.
Yeah, and your girlfriend is so beautiful. So basically, she's a part of the view as well, yes? Okay.
Well, she does make my pictures look a little bit better, yes.
Very nice one, yes. Okay, now this is the model Dan pictures. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. This is great.
That's not me, though. That's my cousin.
I know. It doesn't look like you. Okay, so you've been to Europe, of course. Yes, you've been traveling not only in Southeast Asia, right?
Yeah, actually, a lot. So these pictures here are actually from South America.
Okay.
But
what were you doing there? What were you doing?
Well, it's part of the same trip of the Southeast Asia.
Okay,
so
I see.
it was ongoing, but actually, a lot of my photos from the previous Thailand, Cambodia, I haven't really posted them.
That's nice.
Because it was so long ago.
Is this the runway in Indonesia, or?
It is. Yeah, that was in.
Wow.
That was Plaza Indonesia Fashion Week, I think.
It looks like you're in somewhere in America or something, like, Fashion Week.
If that's what people think, great.
It is, yeah. Well, at least I do. Oh, look at this. Where is this one?
This is in Jogja.
Wow, that's beautiful. Amazing view. Oh, wow. Were you in the desert as well?
Yeah, the one with the camels is in India.
India?
The one in the middle is in South America. And the one on the left is Vietnam.
Really? Wow. It's amazing how you put them like next to each other.
Well, you can see how you can go all the way across the world and actually find very similar landscapes.
All right.
That's where I lived there as well.
This one, the hotel that you used to stay.
No, that's where I live now.
Oh, right. I didn't pay attention. Okay.
You've been there. You've been there.
Yes, Dan. Yeah. Because this is a lot more tidier than when I was there.
What? Because you were making the mess? Maybe so.
I guess so. Okay. So. All right. Anyway, let's continue to getting to know more about your opinion on these countries. So if our settlers would like to know top three easiest places to go for Indonesians, let's say it's English friendly. What do you call? I mean,
Okay, so the three most English friendly places.
there you go. Three most English friendly places in Southeast Asia. That's a long one, but yes.
Okay.
What do you think?
This is from my experience. So this may not include Philippines, but I believe their English is very good there. But number one definitely would be Singapore.
Singapore,
Because,
the closest.
which a lot of Indonesians have been to. My recommendation for Singapore is not to go there for too long, though, because it's very expensive. But obviously, being speaking Singlish as they do, you should be fine with a very basic level, and they do speak Malay as well. So I think Indonesians might be able to somehow, even if you don't speak English, you might be able to communicate there.
True.
And then number two, I would say, in terms of English level, would be Malaysia.
Malaysia, okay.
Yeah.
Hometown.
Same with Singapore, they were British colonies. So actually they've got some British cultural heritage there related to when the British were there. So actually, kids nowadays, millennials or even Gen Z and the younger ones, they start English very early. And the teachers there are very, very good. And they generally don't even need natives to teach them English anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're quite self-sustaining. So not only do they speak English, they speak Mandarin now as their third language, and Malay. So they're great. Yeah. And then last one would be, and this is more so for tourists, would be Thailand.
Thailand. Oh, nice.
It's very, very easy because it is just built for tourists.
I see.
Everything is really easy. You can find your way around. I don't think they don't try and screw you out of money.
Okay, that's nice.
Unless you're not looking for that. So they basically, you can go to those three places and have a very, very easy trip without panicking when communicating with someone.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So Singapore, and the other one was Malaysia and Thailand, yeah?
Exactly. But if in Malaysia, if you go to the East Malaysia, where on Borneo, it may not be as good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Those guys are, some of them are Dayak, and they have they speak the local language.
Only their local language, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you mean. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the culture. Which of the countries that has the best culture, do you think? Can you mention the top three?
In terms of, it's difficult to say the best culture. I think it's maybe the ones that I enjoyed.
Okay, yeah, in your opinion.
I do enjoy the most. So I think this won't be in order.
Okay.
Am I going to put Indonesia on this or away from Indonesia?
Of course you should.
Because I think Indonesia is really, really high on that, because Indonesia is really diverse. Yeah,
I'm a very proud Indonesian.
Indonesia is a traveler's dream, basically, because it's so big. It's so big, so diverse, and there are so many different types of cultures.
Not just Bali, because that's what everyone knows in the world.
Yeah, but Bali's great, absolutely, and it's unique because it's Hindu. Yeah. However, there are so many others around that I've come across, and one of them, for example, that some people have been to, I'm sure, is like Tanah Toraja or somewhere like that.
Tanah Toraja, yeah, that's
so
true.
That place is, in my opinion, wild, because it is so different from places I've been to before.
Right. Do you feel the mystical vibe in there?
Oh, absolutely. It's hard to avoid it. I think the first day I got there, I went to a funeral.
Oh, wow. You're so brave.
I was invited, you know.
Oh, okay.
that's what you do there. You go to Toraja, and the thing to do is to go to a celebration that celebrates someone's death. It's very strange.
Wow.
But it's a huge event. I had a great time there. So yeah, that's just an example of what Indonesia has to offer, as everyone knows. Another one, I would say, you can't really travel there at the moment, not only because of the pandemic, but because they are having difficulties politically, is Myanmar.
I see. Okay. But so, they have great cultures, basically, yeah?
They have a long history, and basically their tourist industry is beginning to grow, and they're beginning to learn how to teach people about their history and what's going on. But unfortunately, right now, they're going through some issues. So hopefully by the time of the pandemic is over, they will be able to open their doors again, because it is a wonderful place and it's relatively new for tourism.
I see. Okay.
So that place was great because they've got a really beautiful landscape in the north where they have all these ancient temples, where it's just a massive landscape as far as the eye can see, just temple.
Just like Borobudur?
No, Borobudur's one, right?
Oh, but this is more than one. Oh.
This is like thousands. It's like you can see them as far as the eye can see. As far as
you can see, yeah.
And it's really, really stunning. And that stuff.
Nice one. Do you have it? Do you have it in Instagram? The one that you post?
I might do. I might have to scroll through.
I'm very curious to see that. Is it before? Should I scroll up or down? Just tell me.
It's towards the bottom, before all of my modeling pictures.
Back, way back then, yeah?
Yeah, before I became a little bit self-obsessed.
Before you became so vain.
Yeah, a bit narcissistic, you know?
Okay, look at the what do you call the young Dan? The young Dan. You're old now, Dan.
I'm not that old. Okay. I think I found a few. So
okay, which one is that?
So you have to go back really, really far.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to find it.
Okay, then.
It's just from a very long time ago.
Well, maybe our settlers, if they don't have anything to do, they can just simply scroll on your Instagram. Okay. Well, we can always Google that anyway. But okay, let's go to the next one, the last cultural country that you
right. I would say the one that I enjoyed would be, it's a close one between Thailand and Cambodia. And I'll give you the reason. Cambodia has the biggest, is it Hindu temple or Buddhist temple in the world? So that is Angkor Wat.
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah. So they're famous, yeah?
Very, very famous. And that place is stunning. And actually, it's not just that temple. There are, again, probably tens or hundreds of other temples around, which are really, really beautiful. But then Cambodia is a relatively small country. And I didn't really have that much time to explore. But when it comes to Thailand, absolutely. Culture, the way the people act with each other, they're very free, I would say, in terms of they're not really constrained too much in what they do. They seem to be very fun-loving people, open-minded. They seem to be very tolerant. That's what I experienced. And
quite friendly as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I think I feel that. Yeah, when I was there.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, they've got a rich history. Again, they've got temple complexes, great museums. The palaces are fantastic. Yeah. And I guess you could count food in terms of the culture. The food's great.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I love Indian. I mean, Indian. I love Thai food.
You do love Indian too.
Yes, I do. Okay, anyway, let's go to the top 3 activities. Where do you think is the most fun place to do activities?
Okay, Vietnam. is superb.
Really? What kind of activities can
Absolutely.
you do?
You could do anything from nature trips. You can do, a lot of people do motorcycling trips. So,
Can I do a skydiving?
maybe not, but you can do other adventure things there. I think you can do paragliding.
Okay.
You can do canyoning, which is great fun. So canyoning is basically going into waterfalls.
Yes, that's a nice one.
And then climbing down them and going down the natural slides and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that trip was amazing until I had a GoPro on my helmet, and then I went down a slide, and then the GoPro fell off at the bottom of the waterfall, and I lost the GoPro forever. Ooh. And that GoPro had all the footage of about a week and a half worth of trip.
Did you have a chance to move them before?
I didn't know. I hadn't moved it, so I lost all that footage of the motorcycling and everything like that.
Yeah.
And looking at the landscapes while we're driving around.
Wow.
And I cut the trip short because I was too upset.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was devastated. It's not the first time it's happened, but
really?
you never get over it, because it's not the cost of the GoPro, it is the memories.
The memories, right?
And yeah, the sentimental value that you have when you're traveling there. So
I know. I can feel that.
Yeah. Vietnam, again, rich history. Very rich. Right. So they've got the recent history with the Vietnam War, where the Americans went there, and they became unified in the end. So that's a very important one to go to and learn about, because it's not that long ago. It's probably about 60 years ago now. Okay. And then you've got their ancient history, where they got the big grand palaces and the beautiful temples again, and they've got their food. We became in love with their food as well.
Oh yeah.
Those are the noodles. Yes. Yeah. But there's loads of other stuff that we learned about while we were there, and they don't really offer it that much here. So that's why we've been back twice.
I see.
Yeah. So
nice one.
When it comes to activities, Vietnam, motorcycling, you can do canyoning, you can do windsurfing, you can do kite surfing, hiking. You can hike in the mountains, go into caves, kayaking, like so many different activities. Right. And you do it all in different parts of the country. So you'll not only you do the activities, but you'll see a lot along the way. Nice one. Nice one. Superbly. Okay. All right. That's number one. So what about the next one? The next one, I would say, in terms of activities, probably Thailand. Thailand, they're not the most exciting activities, I would say, but they're very, very easy and they're fun, right? So you would have done them before. It'd be snorkeling. And the shopping, the shopping experience. They have so many cheap stuff in there, and very fashionable as well. And they've got really fantastic malls as well in Bangkok and Phuket as well. So so if you want to take a day off from the beach, you can go to all of those markets that they have. Yes, really, really fun. If you want to dive, you can go to Phuket as well, right? Yeah, you can do diving, snorkeling there. I'm not sure how good it actually is under the water there, because they were slightly over-touristed. That's true, actually. Well, to be honest, I went there for diving to Phuket, and I think Manado has, has better view. Yes. Bunaken in Manado, has better view. Beautiful place, and it's actually very easy to do diving there as well. So actually, the last one I'll do is obviously it has to be Indonesia. It has. Yay! Okay, that's good to know. All right. So activities that I've done I always do activities every time I go on a trip. So ones that I could tell you about would be, on my last trip in Bali, I did the car mud racing. Yeah. I saw that one. Yeah, I haven't actually posted that yet, but it will. Okay. That was really great fun, and actually due to the pandemic, you can still do it. Nice one. And it's cheaper. And I do recommend people to go. It's called, I can even recommend them actually. It's called Munduk Wilderness.
Where's that about? Not in Bali though, right?
It is in the mountains of Bali.
I
So
see.
you have to take a trip up there. But the mountains in Bali are stunning as well. Like really, really beautiful.
Nice.
Again, on this trip, as usual, I did snorkeling, as I do in most parts of Indonesia.
Yeah.
Other activities around the country. I went to see the orangutans in both Kalimantan and Sumatra.
Nice.
Cave exploring, whitewater rafting. There's so much to do. Everyone knows what there is to do here. But I don't think everyone does it.
I see. They only knew it from Google or whatever, people sharing that, but they don't feel like going there.
Well, this is an important thing about, there is a thing about traveling where, yes, you want to take the picture. Okay? And your Instagram will look pretty and you can be, I've done that. I got my Instagram photo.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can understand why people want that. Even I want that.
Yeah.
However, you have to have the experiences at the same time where you get the feeling, the rush, the sensation that you know that an Instagram story or a video cannot tell that. And it's inside you, and it's great when you share that with someone because you can talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's more important than an Instagram post.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think it's a shame that a lot of people, it's not just Indonesians, it's everyone, that there are a lot of people who literally just go to places because they want to take the photo that everyone else has got.
True, that's true.
Right, the classic, you know, I know I've got one of Padar Island, right? I've got the photo.
Yeah.
However, on that trip, we dived with turtles and we saw dolphins, you know, that sort of thing. That was the additional one, but I didn't share the thing about the dolphins because it wasn't. That was a personal thing.
That's true. Yeah, and here's one thing. The ironic thing that I actually found in Indonesians' mindset. They want to go abroad instead. I mean, they want to go internationally instead of, you know, going around their own place. You see what I mean?
I think that's a very natural thing for every nationality. It's not just Indonesia. It's not just.
I see. Okay.
Because yes, I understand why Indonesians might want to get out, even though it's such a great place to travel. But you are speaking the same language. You are eating nasi padang in this town center, right? You're eating similar foods.
Yes.
Yes, you can find the local foods, but what are you generally going to do? You're going to find the food that you're comfortable with. And it doesn't matter where you go, you can find that. And it is your comfort zone. But if you go outside, you will be broadening your horizon.
Yeah, challenged as well, yeah? Challenged.
So I can completely understand. I haven't traveled in the UK anywhere near as much as foreign people have.
Okay, that's interesting.
I know Indonesians who have been to more places in the UK than I have.
Right.
And I lived there for 25 years. So, yeah.
That's a shame.
You feel, even though you haven't been there, you feel you kind of know it already.
Right.
So you won't be as enthusiastic about it as you would going to another country.
It's actually true. So they can actually broaden, again, we can use that idiom, right? They can broaden their
horizon
if they actually fly abroad. Yes. Okay. I see what you mean now. Okay. Now that's a different perspective that I got, like a new one. Okay. Now, anyway, let's go to my favorite part, which is top 3 food. What do you think?
Okay. Food. Well, I think a lot of Indonesians know it because a lot of it's already here in the cities.
Okay.
But it's not quite the same. One of my, I think the classic one would definitely be Thai food.
Oh,
it is.
Same here. Okay.
It is super duper. It doesn't matter where you go to in Thailand, you will always find food that's delicious. It could be cheap, it could be expensive, but it's always tasty. I don't want to offend any Indonesians here, but their fried rice is just so much better than Indonesia.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think it's because they add lots of fish sauce.
I love fish sauce.
And being British, I like the saltiness.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Indonesian has more sweet.
It's sweeter. Yeah.
Sauce. I see what you mean.
They use the salty sauces, and you'll see actually probably like British guys or European people would love that fried rice there that they have. But obviously they've got so many more different types of food. They've got tom yum, green Thai curry, red Thai curry.
Love. I love their salad too. Papaya salad, the best.
Mangoes with mango.
Yeah, the dessert,
green.
Right?
Yeah, the dessert.
Yes.
Amazing.
Always,
too.
yeah, iconic.
And obviously their stir-fry dishes are unbelievable as well. So Thailand,
amazing.
Indonesians would be in food heaven. And it's super cheap. I love it. And it's really cheap too. One thing that I think you can get there that I find it really difficult to get here is really good fruit juice.
Fruit juice?
Yeah, like fresh fruit juices that are tasty and cold, and it's like kind of frappe style, but with no coffee. You know, like it's all it's like a smoothie with
smoothie. I think they froze the fruit before they actually.
They might do. I don't know how they do it, but just the way they make those drinks, and they're really big portions, right? So it could last you the whole day.
Very fulfilling,
and you could have it 2 or 3 times a day, and you'll be very happy.
And healthy.
And healthy. Maybe there's a little bit of sugar in there. But
I guess so.
In Indonesia, I find it very difficult to find it. But there, it's everywhere.
I see. Okay.
So I think Indonesia, when it comes to fruit, we have a lot of fruit here, but I think we're not great at making the drinks out of it.
The way they make it.
Yeah, so possibly... I might go to Thailand and ask them how to do it.
I know, right? We should totally make a business out of it, you know?
I'm sure someone's tried before, but the Indonesians don't like it. So there must be, it might just be me who likes it.
Probably, it's the tongue. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Thailand number one.
Yeah.
Thailand number one.
And then?
Right, I have to make sure I have to be careful here because I am Malaysian. So, or on my mother's side. So, Indonesians might not be happy about me saying this, but I would say Malaysia is well up there in terms of food. And I think, but not just that. I think one thing that Indonesia is not really influenced by as much as Malaysia is their Indian food.
Okay.
So Malaysia is not only similar to Indonesia in their food, but they also have high Chinese and high Indian influence too.
That's true.
So it's very, very diverse, and I think it's relatively unique. Malay plus Indian is a very unique sort of flavor, and I get that when I go. It's cooked by my family, so obviously you can't buy the ones that my family cook. But I believe also you can go to the they call them mama. They're kind of big restaurants, buffet style.
In Indonesia, you mean?
No, this is in Malaysia.
In Malaysia, okay.
In Malaysia,
I think I've seen one in Indonesia. Do you think they have the franchise here? Probably.
I don't think it's a franchise.
Oh, okay.
But I think they do have it, but they just call it something different.
I see.
So it's buffet style, but it's open plan. So basically, you can sit outside on the street.
Oh, okay.
You're drinking coffees. It's always plastic chairs.
Yeah. Okay, that's a different thing that I thought about then.
Yeah, it could be run by Malaysians, but a lot of the workers who work there are often Indian. The food has Malaysian and Indian flavors there.
I see.
Nice really, really, really tasty. Indonesians, I'm sorry. I think my girlfriend also heard me say that I said Malaysia, and she's Indonesian. So she said she's actually just dropped me a message. I just saw my message, and it says, "I can't believe you just said that." So there you go. So I'm going to be in trouble after this podcast.
Of course. Good luck with that, Dan.
Yeah. So yeah, now I'm torn. Do I say Vietnam or do I say Indonesia?
Indonesia.
Again, I
Vietnam should be the fourth.
I guess I'd have to say Indonesia after I've made that blunder.
Yes. Good job, man.
Indonesia is the food is so diverse, obviously, and my favorite. I eat Indonesian food every day, so
Okay.
a lot of as the direct translation would be green chili chicken. I eat. That's probably my favorite dish that I have on a very regular basis. Padang, obviously, I think that matches well with Western tastes.
Right.
And obviously all the little ones like bakso, soto, those sorts of things.
That's my favorite.
The thing about Indonesian food, there's so much of it. I find it really difficult to remember the names of everything.
Well, you always have your girlfriend to, to tell you that.
Or you could just point, I want that one. That one.
Right.
I'll have this. Right. I know what it looks like. I know. And I'll just say, I want one of those.
Yeah.
That's all I have to ask for.
Right.
Balinese food is obviously different. And then you go to Sulawesi. It's very different over there.
Choto.
Yeah,
well,
and
that's where my dad's place actually, Choto Makassar.
Yeah, generally also they have a bit more seafood there in Sulawesi. So
yeah,
there are fish that you don't get in Java, or it's hard to find. So yeah, Indonesian food, really diverse. It can be spicy, not spicy. Probably some of the best dishes, my favorite dishes, I said Padang. I think bebek sinjaya as well.
Where is that from?
Madura.
Oh, Madura. Okay. Nice one.
Yeah, very, very tasty.
Okay.
So, yeah,
okay, anyway.
Food heaven in Southeast Asia.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
I can tell you where not to go, though, for food.
Oh, okay. Now, this is an additional. Go ahead.
I'm sure they've got good food, but this put me off their food. So when I was there, I ate just Western food the whole time.
Okay, what is it?
Because once I was traveling on a bus and I stopped off at one of the rest stops and I needed to go to the toilet, but I also was slightly hungry. So I went to the rest stop and I saw these big piles of things that I didn't recognize. I thought, what's that? And all the Cambodians were buying it, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Then I got closer. I realized it was like deep fried tarantula and deep fried cockroach-looking thing.
What?
And they eat them like crisps.
Oh, okay.
Or potato chip style, they crunch it. And what ended up happening is when I got back on the bus, these guys were, munching while I was on the bus, and they were kind of, because it's deep fried and it's they were kind of picking their teeth with it as well.
Oh no.
So that wasn't a very pleasant experience for me. So I just ate pizza for the rest of the time.
So they eat bugs and all. Okay. Yeah. Not recommended. Highly not recommended. But although they did mention that it has a high protein.
Yes.
But still, there are still more options, right, that you can choose other than that. Okay. Anyway.
Sorry, someone's knocking at my door. 1 second. Sorry about this. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to go off screen, but I just need.
Okay, so that's about the food. Yeah, top 3 food: Thai, Vietnam.
Malaysia.
Thai, Malaysia, and Indonesian food. Okay, all right.
Indonesia's winning. Indonesia's doing well here, I think.
Thank you very much. I'm very much proud of that. Okay, anyway, let's go to our game session, shall we? So this game is going to be about truth or a lie. So since we don't have much time, we're just going to take one statement, okay? So in this game, you're going to have to tell me a statement about your experience on traveling, and I'm going to have to guess whether it's a truth or a lie. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You still need to answer it, but you need to actually be convincing, you see? To look or sound convincing so that I can be fooled, but that's not going to happen because I'm smart. But let's go.
Okay, so my one that I want to tell you is I always get seasick when I go on a boat.
That's not true. I don't think so. You like snorkeling.
Yeah, but I mean when I go on a boat.
Right, you got seasick. Okay.
And my statement is I always get seasick.
Do you actually take something to reduce that feeling of being seasick?
I think there are motion sickness tablets that you can find.
Do you usually take that?
No, I
when you're on a
don't.
boat? No.
No.
So how do you normally overcome that?
I just throw up.
You just throw up. So every time you're on a boat, you'll throw up.
So is it the truth or a lie?
Is that a yes or a no?
You tell me. Did you say it was a lie or a truth?
I just asked you a question. Do you always throw up every time
That's what I said.
you're on a boat? Yes or no?
That was the statement.
Always. Oh yeah, so always, yeah? You always throw up. Okay. Not always. Maybe sometimes when the tide gets like, the sea is getting crazier, then you might get seasick, but not always.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct.
Okay. Now my turn. Now, I have an experience of not being able to fly on the day that I was supposed to fly, and when I was at the check-in counter, I got rejected because I don't have a visa.
This sounds like something you would do.
What?
I have to say.
I suddenly felt so offended right now, Dan.
Are you offended, or are you just, damn, he's caught me?
Well, you still have to guess, though.
So you turned up to a flight on the wrong day.
No, the same exact day where I was supposed to fly. 2 hours before I flew.
Okay, so you were going to the airport, but then they didn't allow you to fly because you didn't have the visa.
Yes, that's right.
Where were you flying to?
India.
Indonesians do need a visa, yes. True.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought so. When was that? When did that happen?
The very first time I actually supposed to go to India.
So you had to cancel the flight and apply to the embassy, did you? And that takes
and flew the next day and bought a new ticket.
They gave you a visa the next day? That's very quick.
Yeah, well, I did it online. Online is quicker.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that it does sound like something you would do. I have to say.
Yeah, you know me so well, huh, Dan?
Unfortunately so.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, that's one thing I learned. Like I learned a huge lesson from there for sure. Okay. Well, anyway, Dan, it's been awesome having you here, and I think we're actually exceeded the normal time. But I hope that our settlers learned something and enjoyed our conversation today. So before we go, let's ask our settlers a question. Where would you like to go in a country around Southeast Asia after the pandemic is over? Are you going to go where Dan is actually recommending you to go? So the number one place that you mentioned, I think mostly is Thailand, right?
I think Thailand is, for Indonesians, Thailand's superb, or another one would be Vietnam.
Vietnam. Would you go to one of those places, settlers? Do let us know by writing your comments at English Today Instagram. Okay? So I will see you again on our next episode with our new and awesome, awesome co-host. So thank you so much, Dan, for accompanying me today.
You're welcome.
And I will see you all soon. Bye, everyone. Bye, Dan.
Bye.